Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Be On the Track with Daniel Blair, presented by Cooper Tires. I'm Daniel Blair, and joining me today, Zach Osborne. And Zach, you know, I picked you first right out of the gate because I haven't spoke to you since we've been here. I know everything's kind of weird, and usually I get a chance to talk to you, but haven't had a chance. How are you?
Doing good, bud. Doing good every time I see you like this.
Do you even recognize me?
I do. You're just the shortest person with the TV camera.
Okay, that's fair. Well,
With the microphone.
down on the floor.
Yeah, shortest person with the microphone.
Okay. What's up, man? How are you?
Wait, you're trying to say you're taller than RC?
Yes, half an
Or
inch.
who were you contemplating there?
RC, half an inch.
I'd have to see it.
How tall are you?
Not much taller.
I was gonna say, like, you're sounding awfully confident for someone who maybe has a half an inch on me.
You know, as a short guy, when you see somebody that's even like a little bit shorter, you're like, "Oh, dude, you're so short. Why are you so short?"
Yeah. Whenever I see someone 1 inch shorter, I'm like, "What's up, little guy?"
Man, how's it feel?
How's it feel being so small? Hey, where are you? I can't exactly tell from behind you, but help me out here.
I'm at my motorhome. Let's see if I can turn the camera around here. We're in a campground. I got my feet up on the table, straight chilling.
You got an RV park or something?
I'm at my motorhome.
Oh, so it's true. You are being a little sneaky on your location. I've heard rumors.
Nope.
You're not very
Rumors.
telling right now.
Nope. I'm trying to keep my distance, trying to do the right thing.
Is that the key to the results right now too? Is that why you're riding so well? Is just this complete seclusion away from the track?
Yeah, just completely like when Rocky went to Russia, just completely just cut everything off.
You need all that time to think about what's coming, right? No distractions.
No, that's probably the worst thing that could happen to me. A lot of
I know
time.
you're an overthinker, bro. You can't be alone that long. You'd be thinking of way too much stuff.
Yep, you're right.
Hey, does this thing kind of feel like a summer
You hear that
camp
dog barking in the background?
What?
You hear that dog barking in the background?
I did a minute ago. Did
Oh,
you bring
it's
a dog?
super annoying. I'm not a dog guy.
So that's a neighbor dog?
Yeah.
How's the night been?
I haven't heard it, but if it comes to it, I'll fix it.
So he's daytime yappy. Okay, hey, I was gonna say, does this kind of feel like a summer camp a little bit? Like you're in a new place, as you're like figuring it all out. It's your new home.
Yeah.
You know it's not permanent, but it kind of is for a while. Like it's got this weird like kid summer camp vibe.
It does. I agree. And like, normally when we go racing, we fly in on Friday, fly out at the earliest flight on Sunday morning. It's very cut and dry, very straightforward. You're lucky if you even get to eat a meal in the city or whatever. But this has been really cool to get to explore the city, kind of be out in the mountains a little bit, and just the racing's been awesome so far. I feel like obviously it's been good for me, but I wish that we could kind of adopt something like this a little bit more on a regular basis, a little bit more racing, a little less practicing. So hopefully, in the future, it can take some light.
You said that on the press conference today. Is that, I mean, you hear all people talk a lot about how, we race too much. These guys race too much. Do you think it's the actual racing side or more of the travel and like everything away from the actual gate drop? Because it seems like you guys all love racing when you're racing.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, for me, this is like, a quarter of the riding that I would normally do. So it's a big step in the easier direction for me, I guess you would say. Obviously you have to be careful with being recovered and with the altitude and everything, but at the same time, you don't have to get on a plane. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m., drive to the airport, fly for 7 hours, get to the next airport, get the car, blah, blah, blah. So this, like Eli said in the press conference as well, this feels a lot more sustainable than a normal season. Normally 7 or 8 races in, it starts to get a bit tiring, a bit boring, and it's hard to keep that going. But this feels a lot more, sustainable was the right word for it.
Yeah, you know how like in the amateur days, it was like a long drive to get there and you're all excited, then you're there for a long time, and but you're there and you get to like really take it all in, a day and another day and another day. right now the schedule is, it's like more business, right? You fly in, check in, you do your thing, you check out. Something about this vibe has been just cool. And again, I'd have to say being in Salt Lake City probably helps a little bit with that. I know it's been hot and everything, but I feel like this is a location that was pretty cool for us to all
For
all
sure.
of us get here and just be here, you know?
Yeah, there's definitely worse places that we could have ended up than Salt Lake that are on the normal calendar. So I'm happy to be here. Utah is an incredible place to be, and it's just like such a healthy, cool, vibe, and I enjoy the lifestyle we have going right now.
Do you drive the motorhome out?
Nope, my mom drives full time for me, so she drove out, and she's been staying here with the kids while we go racing.
From Florida?
Yeah.
How
She
far?
drives all year.
I know, but it's just that's a, you kind of get into a groove. That's just a long one.
That's her thing, though, man. She likes it. She enjoys driving and yeah, being here for us on the weekend. So it's really cool.
How's that gas mileage?
I was actually good. I think it was like 7 or 8 on the way out, which is awesome.
Hey, how weird is that? How good that is. You know what
Really
I drove
good.
here? You know what I drove here?
What?
My
A
Prius. I do. I have one. I've got a commuter. I've got a truck too, but my Prius gets 52 miles of the gallon. I left the truck home with my wife so she could take my son riding. So I drove the car out here, dude. Cost me like $8 to get out. So what
It
have you been
can't
doing?
be too far from you, right?
10 hours. 10
Oh,
hours.
that's a little further than I thought, actually.
Not too bad. It was a good little cruise. Got up early, got here.
Prius, if it took you 10 hours, 52 miles a gallon, that's like 300 miles.
No. I don't know. I'm not good with math without my calculator, and I can't do it right now because I'm zooming.
I'd mean you're doing like 30 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour.
Oh, is that what it was? Is that what your joke was? That's okay. It's true. I'm a slow driver. Hey, so what have you been doing? Like, really? I mean, I know you got to stay fit and everything, but what's the downtime like?
It's been pretty mellow. I was at a point with my training and stuff where I needed a little bit of mellow time, and this whole thing's been really, really good for my current state of fitness and everything. So I've just been trying to take it easy. Went golfing last. My days are super mixed up. Monday, the day after Sunday, which typically happens.
It's usually how it goes.
I went golfing. Been riding the mountain bike trails up by the stadium. They're pretty sick. Just a change of scenery has been really good for me right now. It was a bit monotonous there for 3 months or whatever it was in Florida, and I'm really enjoying my time away from Florida and really just kind of settling in here and getting into the grind of these races. It seems like we've been here for a month already because I feel like I've done tons of activities, but it's only been a week just today, so it's good.
Dude, we've done 2. There's 5 more.
I know.
It does feel like we've been here a while. I'm cool with it too. Are you a good golfer?
I'm decent. I played the best golf of my life the other day, but the course we were at was ridiculous for a person of my skill. If I would have been at like my home course in Florida, I would have probably shot 40 or 42 on 9, but I shot like 52 on this 9, and I was happy with my ball striking. So I'm a under the hundreds. Bogey golf's the goal, but yeah, it doesn't happen very often.
That's pretty good.
That's okay.
That's not bad. I mean, for me, I'm usually in the buck 30s or so.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
But that's usually by the 14th hole, and then I quit. So yeah, it's not a good game for me. I'm stiff and rigid. I don't have the bend in the hips, dude. I can't do it.
I'm a 9 kind of guy. Like I lose my attention span after 9. My discipline goes out the window. Start swinging bad. So I'm more of a 9-hole kind of guy.
How is that when racing's the opposite? You're like, dude, you would do 36 holes.
Yeah.
If you were a racer, get better.
It's just it takes a long time. Like it's like a 5-hour day if you're gonna go out and play 18. Start to feel a little guilty about being away from the family for that long. Like I just want to go home. So I'm bang out 9 holes in 2 hours and get out of there kind of guy.
That's cool. You've been riding really good though. Has the last month been like pretty good for you? you know, because last time we saw you, I mean, we thought things were going okay, and then you were gone. You didn't show up. You had the big crash. And so we haven't really heard much. I mean, when we got here, I'm like, oh, that's good. Zach's back. I wonder how he is. And dude, it's been good.
Actually, honestly, the period since my crash has been one of the toughest periods of my career. Just the injury was big, a lot of pain in the beginning, and just had to kind of sit down and really figure out what I was going to do, because I wasn't sure that I could, you know, ever be fully myself again. The way that I was hurting in the beginning was something I've really probably never felt. So I was not sure how this whole thing was going to go. It was really nice for me to get a good result on Sunday, build a little momentum, and find my feet on the bike and, you know, get going again. And then last night I just felt really good the whole day and was able to pull off a podium. But if you would have told me that 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, where do I sign? So can't be too disappointed to lead 20 laps and not win the main event. You know, I felt like I had a pretty good stranglehold on it there for a little while, and just kind of petered out in the end. But we get to go again on Sunday, which is really cool.
How honestly, how do you balance that? And this isn't like a podium question with a podium answer, but in the real, you led the race, like, dude, podium ride again. You a few months back, you're wondering what you're even gonna do. Like, there's got to be so much joy and relief in that, but then you're also like, gosh, that win was right there. So again, not like just a standard you and me on the podium type answer. Like, how what is that real balance like? I feel like you're conflicted, probably, right?
Yeah, I am. Just because I was so good in the beginning, and like two little tiny mistakes kind of cost me my gap, and then a third one allowed the pass, and then the lapper in the way allowed the second pass. But I can't help but feel a little bit disappointed because, like I said, I had such a good stranglehold on it there for 20 laps, and I felt so solid. And even at the end of the race, it wasn't like I was tired. It just kind of got away from me. You know, it kind of came unraveled, which is the part that I'm a little disappointed in. Of course, like I said, you know, if you would have told me 2 weeks ago that I was going to get on the podium last night, I would have said, yeah, sign me up, you know? So it's all about, for me, just kind of keeping it in perspective of where I've come from in the last couple of months, and just to finally be back here racing it and get on the podium and in a good position is really, really good for me.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
You said in the press conference how you referenced something that I said about you during the main event. Does that stuff bother you at all when we are open or critical, or maybe even if we're off on something? Because I'm not going to say everything we say is right. I want an honest answer. Like, you know, are you critical of us too when we say things, if they're maybe harsh or inaccurate or anything? I'm just curious.
No, I'm not. I listen to a lot of stuff, a lot of podcasts in general, and as well as motocross podcasts. But the only thing that bothers me is when people are like way off base, or, you know, talking stuff that is not even realistic to me. But I feel like you guys, especially on the broadcast, do a really good job of like having factual information that can back up what you're saying, or you know, current events that kind of relate to what's going on the broadcast. So no, you know, I would have probably called it exactly like you called it. You know, I was hoping in my mind that I could pull it out, but it did start to wear on me a little bit, and that was pretty much as straightforward as it gets. I mean, you could kind of see it there at the end.
Yeah, I was curious. I've had people be a little critical, writers be critical of things I've said, and I always try to balance, like, what is it that I'm seeing and what do I think that's fair? And again, like, that's why when I was calling the race, I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, you're right there, but at the same time, you didn't have, like, you don't have a lot of races up there late, you know what I mean? So that's why I was like saying that. I was just curious if you found that to be fair, because I've had riders say that sometimes we're not all the way fair. Just curious.
Yeah, I think you guys are really fair, and you do a great job. I know that there's a lot of criticism for all media people, just like there are all riders, and I think you guys do a really good job of keeping it in check and keeping it real.
Hey, I'll turn subjects real quickly, but Verb Moto's coming back. I saw some videos popping up of some little baby Zacho out there. What do you think of all those old vids popping up?
it's cool, man. I mean, it's crazy, you know, to think. I wish that I had an iPhone or the capabilities of taking photos and videos that I do now. Then, you know, I wish I
Oh,
had.
I know, right? Like the
Yeah,
kids now, like, dude, they're gonna have everything. Like, I
yeah.
don't have anything as a kid. I don't
Oh,
know
watch this
nothing.
video. I took it on my phone. It's 4K, you know, like, or my GoPro or whatever. But it's cool to look back and see that. And also, like, just how far that whole program, like, of filming and editing and all that stuff has come. It's insane.
It's weird, right?
It is. It's
Just
crazy.
it's advanced big time. Hey, when you see those videos, do you start like just reminiscing on those days, the guys you battled with, and then I always find it funny when you look back at old results and see like your age group and you're battling with a guy that you did when you were on 65s. It's like how's that happen like all these years later, you know?
Yeah, it's basically all the same people at the end of the day, you know. But um, I I do love looking at old results. Like, there's probably 3 times a week where me and Cooper sit in the shop and we're like, oh, remember this race from so and so, and then we're like looking at results, looking at lap times, talking crap about 2015 or something, you know. So I love the old stuff. I like to reminisce about that stuff, and especially the good times, you know.
Hey, you said in the press conference also that you do a reality TV show with you guys in your semi. Like, I know all three of you pretty well. You guys are all so different. Like, how does that even mesh, dude? Dino is like, he's so out there, and then Jason's so out there in his own way. Like, how do you three hang out in the semi and just all get along when you're all like just so different?
I think that's why it works, you know, like, you know, with marriage and relationships and stuff, they always say opposites attract. And I think that's a lot of why it works. Like, we're so different, you know. I'm the 30-year-old with 2 kids and a wife. Dean's like the middleman with a fiance, 27, blah, blah, blah. And Jason's like still the kid with,
Yeah, like
you know, he's
Peter Pan,
27,
like
but
won't grow up, right?
yeah, just whatever. So there's always somebody making fun of somebody. And yeah, yesterday yesterday was pretty all time.
You
That
guys
when
were
we
all
got
on one.
yeah, everybody was on one. I was the butt of the joke. Like, every time there's always someone that's that's the butt, because once you get the ball rolling on you, like, you
You
can't get
just
it off. You know, it's just like
you're done.
everybody has verbal diarrhea on your head. So
So then how do you feel walking out? Do you just give them a little, like, show them your trophy on the night and say, look at that?
no, we don't do that. Like, I mean, it never really gets heated. One time this year it got heated, which is probably the first time ever. It was my fault when I crashed in Tampa, took Jason out with me. When we were both
Oh,
in like
yeah,
the
yeah.
top 5 start. That was a bonehead move on my part. I made an honest mistake, missed my brake and pushed the front. But it's always pretty lighthearted. Like, on Sunday when we were battling for 4th and 5th, like, you know, we were both battling as if that typically 4th and 5th is not, you know, it's a wash. Like, you're going to be 4th or 5th. It's not a big deal. But when it's 4th or 5th with one of those 2 dudes, like, we're always going to put in the extra effort. It sucks to lose.
Hey, what about, okay, so again, I don't want to bring up Wednesday and sting a little bit, but when Cooper gets you, is it is it worse that it's him? Like, man, this guy, like, or is it like, okay, this is my guy. Like, we work together. I respect him. You know, how do you balance that too? Because you got to say, like, he's your buddy. You work together. But, man, it's also like you don't want that guy. You know, like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, that's a hard one too. I mean, we spend a lot of time together. I see him 6 days a week on average, sometimes 7 days a week. Um, it was tough. You know, it's a tough pill to swallow. It's tough for at any time. I want to beat everyone the same, except my teammates. I want to beat them a little bit more. But no, really, like, it is what it is. You know, he was the better man, and if I put in my best effort and I get beat, then I can be okay with that. You know, I can take the lessons and try to be better. The only time that I'm ever kind of upset is if I feel like I didn't do my best, which is pretty rare for me. You know, I'm just kind of a cinder. So it is what it is. I mean, of course, I don't ever want to lose, and it sucks to lose to someone that's sort of your friend, if you will. But they're having a parade. Yeah, it is what it is.
That's cool. I was just kind of curious because I was the same way. For me, it was my brother. If we ever went to a race, look, I love my brother and I want the best for him, but not that day. You know, it's like, it's like, I'm sure you feel the same with your teammates and with Cooper. Like, hey, I want everything to be great for you guys, but behind me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
right
saying?
behind me. Yeah, you know, I've said it before. Like, you know, I would clean him out for a win, and I'm sure he would clean me out for a win. Like, it is what it is. I mean, that's racing. We both train our butts off. We all work hard, so it you know, that's a big pay gap right there.
Have you ever done that for a win before?
You're that guy, aren't you? Nope, I haven't actually. Done it for a 7th.
For a title? I'm sorry.
You're so bad.
I'm sorry, dude. All right. I'll move on.
Sorry.
Hey, on the real though, clothing. Did you bring rain clothes?
I didn't. I don't have anything rain, or I don't have anything suited for 59 degrees either.
Cold rain, dude.
Yeah.
Like going from 95, even kind of humid that day a little bit for West Coast, and now we're gonna go like and that's low 50s as a high. It's like 40s, dude. I mean, unless something shifts here, we're in for a big change.
It's supposed to snow in Park City, I think. 1 to 3 inches.
A lot of people are staying up there. They might not make it over the hill.
Didn't even think about that.
Could you imagine? Highway 80 shut down.
Yeah.
Half the sports up in Park City. All right, man. Well, hey, I'm glad we got a chance to check in. Like I said, I normally get to see you and talk to you all the time. I haven't spoken to you once since we've been here. So it's good to catch up, man. And, again, I'm proud of you. You're riding awesome. And in this championship, a lot of focus is on that title. And there's, like, these other stories, and you're just breath of fresh air, man. It's awesome to see you up there. I'm glad you're back. And most importantly, I'm glad you're healthy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And, the title deal is a lot of pressure on a lot of other people. So hopefully I can sneak in there and make some more good results and hopefully get a win before this deal's over with.
I was going to say, get a win, dude. Like, your starts have been on this year. So you know you've got that in your back pocket. Let's get up there again and let's close one of these things.
For sure. Thank you, dude.
All right, man. Have a fun couple days, and I'll see you at the track on Wednesday.
Sounds good. Thanks, bud.
Later, bro.